As a UISD employee, there are certain rules and procedures that we must follow. This presentation is intended to make you aware of our district's ethics policy, board policy, and resources available to guide your conduct. So why are ethics important? As school district employees, we are public servants. The public places a level of trust on us, expecting strong ethical and moral behavior. This behavior extends to our students, our colleagues, and the community. Being ethical is your responsibility. At UISD, employees are guided on ethics through the Educator Code of Ethics, board policies, promoting ethical behavior through Tone at the Top, guiding ethical behavior through the Ethics Quick Test, and providing resources to report fraud, ethics, and compliance violations through the Fraud and Ethics Hotline. The Educator Code of Ethics is set forth in the Texas Administrative Code to provide rules for standard practices and ethical conduct. All employees, regardless of position, are expected to follow the Educator Code of Ethics. This can be found in our employee handbook. The Code of Ethics is divided into 3 components. The first component is ethical conduct, practices, and performance. The second is ethical conduct towards professional colleagues. And the third is ethical conduct towards students. It is important to note that violating the Code of Ethics may result in disciplinary action, including termination. The first component, professional ethical conduct, practices, and performance, consists of 13 standards. Some of these include: shall not engage in deceptive practices, shall not submit fraudulent requests for reimbursement, expenses, or pay, shall not accept nor offer gratuities, gifts, or favors that impair professional judgment, shall comply with state regulations, written local board policies, and other state and federal laws, shall be of good moral character, and be worthy to instruct or supervise the youth of this state. The second component, ethical conduct toward professional colleagues, consists of 8 standards. These include: shall not reveal confidential health or personnel information concerning colleagues, shall not harm others by knowingly making false statements about a colleague or the school system, shall not discriminate against or coerce a colleague on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, age, gender, disability, family status, or sexual orientation. The third component, ethical conduct towards students, consists of 9 standards, some of which are: shall not reveal confidential information concerning students unless required by law, shall not solicit or engage in sexual conduct or a romantic relationship with a student or minor, shall not furnish alcohol or illegal or unauthorized drugs to any person under the age of 21, shall maintain appropriate professional educator-student relationships and boundaries, and shall refrain from inappropriate communication with a student or minor. Ethical conduct involves more than merely following these laws. As an educator, you should act fairly and honestly and should avoid creating the appearance of impropriety. These rules apply to all UISD employees, regardless of position. Another component of our ethical culture are the district board policies. These can be found on the UISD website. Legal policies compile federal law, state law, and court decisions. Local policies reflect decisions made by the Board of Trustees. There are some policies that pertain to ethics and fraud. They include DH Legal and Local, which is on employee standards of conduct, CAA Local, which is our financial ethics and fraud policy, and DBD Legal and Local, which is our policy on conflict of interest, and it incorporates federal and state law requirements for disclosing business and vendor relationships and the policy on accepting and reporting gifts. The Ethics Quick Test is our moral compass. It is intended to guide us in doing what is right. Some of the questions to consider when deciding on an action is the action legal? How will it look in the newspaper? Does it comply with our values? Am I treating others the same way I would choose to be treated? If I do it, will I feel bad? If you know it's wrong, don't do it. If you're not sure, ask, and keep asking until you get an answer. Any person who knows or has reason to know of or suspects an occurrence of fraud, misappropriation, financial impropriety, or potential for theft of property or services shall notify their supervisor, the superintendent, board president, local law enforcement, or the 24-hour Fraud and Ethics Hotline. The Fraud and Ethics Hotline is a confidential reporting tool for reporting fraud, ethics, and compliance violations. It is operated by Lighthouse Services and is available 24 hours a day. If you need additional information, please visit our website. So what is fraud? Fraud, unlike an error, is intentional and usually involves deliberate concealment of facts. It can be internal or external, and it can be committed by district employees, volunteers, contractors, or vendors. It can also be financial or non-financial in nature. Generally, when fraud occurs, three components are present. There is opportunity, incentive or pressure, or rationalization. Opportunity is created when there are weak or no internal controls or lack of supervision. This is one component that we can control through tone at the top. The second component, incentive or pressure, is when we have a reason or pressure to commit fraud. We may have an inability to pay our bills, a drug or a gambling addiction, or just a desire for status symbols. The third component is rationalization, which justifies the crime. It is when we tell ourselves, I was only borrowing the money, or I need to steal to provide for my family, or I was being underpaid and I deserved it. Some examples of fraud include misappropriation or misuse of district resources, including equipment, furniture, computers, etc., or improper handling of money or fraudulent financial reporting. There is also not depositing or the actual theft of student activity funds. Additional examples include the authorization of payment for goods not received or services not performed through collusion with vendors. There's also theft of time, which includes intentionally reporting time worked inaccurately on the Chronos time clock, such as not clocking out for lunch, or doing time clock edit sheets, such as reporting time not actually worked, or not reporting absences to SmartFind Express. Some additional examples include bribery, illegal gifts, and conflict of interest, or accepting or seeking anything of value from contractors or vendors, or being wasteful, such as purchasing unneeded supplies for equipment or purchasing goods at inflated prices. Other non-financial examples include altering student grades or student absences, helping students cheat on examinations, forging or altering examination results, forging or unauthorized alteration of any district document, including employee and student travel records, payroll forms or department forms, or the inappropriate use of district-provided property or equipment, including taking items home for personal use. The best way to avoid fraud is to have a strong system of internal controls. This is why we have the various levels of review and approval in our school district. So who is responsible for internal controls? Everyone. Every employee in the district is responsible for procedures associated with his or her own job responsibilities. So how can you help? District employees can conduct themselves in an ethical and honest manner, adhere to policies and procedures of the district and their department, review, question and verify information, be alert for red flags, and report any irregularities. For more information, please contact the United ISD Internal Audit Department.